Squawk is the smallest and maddest Iron Knight, and for some reason he likes to chase sheep. In their previous meeting, Gif has almost beaten and destroyed him, and now Squawk is fatally damaged and madder than ever. For the moment, Squawk seemed to be entirely engrossed in what he was doing, which was walking around in stiff-legged circles. Every now and then he would utter a strange "dak" noise and hop up in the air, the effect making him look all the more like a distracted cockerel. The gaping rent in his helmet that Gif had made with his sword still emitted a small fountain of sparks every so often. If there had been any dry hay or grass nearby, it would have probably caught fire. Knight! At Gif's cry, Squawk uttered a yelp of surprise and skipped and turned at the same time. "Dak!" he grated, jabbed his lance in the air angrily. "Dak, dak, dak, a dak, a dak!" Gif stepped forward into the centre of the circle, drew his sword back with one hand and beckoned with the other. "Yes, attack! Be my guest! Let's finish what we started! Attack! Attack! Attack!" The cogs and wheels inside Squawk's metal torso wound to a high-pitched scream as he ran around and around in a mad, tight circle, then slung-shot out of his own trajectory, straight at Gif. As he charged the boy, Squawk kept the point of his spear high, only at the very last instant moving it to a low jab at Gif's exposed legs. Gif, who had very little practice fighting opponents with spears, was very nearly fooled by the move, but managed to sidestep just in time. As Squawk cantered past him, Gif struck, the flat of his blade catching Squawk on the back of the head. There was a huge, hollow ringing sound, and Squawk turned, his whole head now vibrating like a gong. "Attack!" he cried again, flapping his arms. Something must have been wrong with his coordination. When he stuck his right arm up, his left leg shot out at an angle and seemed to stick there. Squawk tottered and would have fallen over had he not used his lance as a hasty crutch. The vibration slowly faded and Squawk's coordination returned. He charged at Gif again, missing by a few feet as he carried on past the boy and into the base of a tree. The long spike at the end of his helmet got embedded in the trunk and he was stuck there. Gif moved forward, his sword spinning in his hand. Squawk started wriggling madly, but nothing happened. Then he dropped his lance and grabbed his head with both hands. He gave an almighty tug and came free. But he was already off balance, and as he stumbled backwards and fell, "Ah!" he cried as he lay on his back. His beaked blank visor somehow conveyed his surprise and horror. He had very little time to reflect on his misfortune, as Gif pressed the advantage. "Ha!" Gif cried, swinging his sword downwards. The sheer effort had made him close his eyes briefly, but when Gif opened them again, he saw that he had sliced off his opponent's iron hand, just above the wrist. There was a shower of sparks from the severed limb. This was it. Gif took his broadsword in both hands, raising it above his head, intending to bring it down on the Iron Knight's neck. Squawk could do nothing as he watched the blade rise, ready to fall on him in a death blow. But then his gaze continued to travel upwards as a broad shadow materialised across the trampled grass. Something wasn't right. Some early instinct, born of ancestors who lived in dark caves, made Gif turn. The charred remains of Bludge towered up behind him, blackened iron arms, heat distorted and twisted, swung the melted remains of his mace. His head had been fixed on, but at an alarming angle, so that a huge gap between his shoulder and neck gave vent to the hollow furnace of rage from within. Gif took one look at the monster and legged it.
First prize is £250 in cash. Second prize is £150 in cash, and third prize is £100 in cash. Now, what we want you to do is design your Iron Knight. It could be made out of metal, it could be made out of wood.
Get on with their lives in peace. No one bothered them much, and they bothered no one back. There was a headman in the village, but there was only one rule. No one, under any circumstances, was to step foot in Rainbeard's castle, for any reason. Ever.